Where is home? And how do we find it? That search can take people on tremendous global journeys.
We're all travelers in this life. And we shape in our soul by experiences. There's a mystical side to migration.
The history of migration is not one people, one country, one culture, or one story. Through circumstance or out of necessity, any of us can find ourselves uprooted, set adrift, and looking for a new home.
I'm from Morocco, born in a place called Chefchaouen. It's right in the north on the mountains. I was very happy to live in Morocco. To me, it was a dream come true to go to London and live in the Western world. My father didn't like the idea. He wanted me to get married the old-fashioned way. I was in London for 4.5 years, and I met a girl from Benalla.
Benalla,
Yeah.
right, in Victoria.
In Victoria,
Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, she was working holiday over there.
Were you surprised to learn that was where she was from?
Look, I didn't even know where Australia was. I didn't even know where Australia was, actually. My father, he wanted me to get married very young. And what I did, I wrote a letter to my sister in London. And I said to her, please save me, because I don't want to get married too young, you know. So in 1 month's time, I had a work permit to work in Russell Square in the Queen Mother's Hospital for sick children, and the airplane ticket. So it was everything on the platter. I had one-way tickets. I was scared when I got on the airplane. And at the same time, I was excited. But when you get to the airplane and start to move, you go, uh-oh. First time in the airplane, I was really scared.
How old were you then?
17.
Your sister, was she the only person in your family that had gone to London?
Exactly, it was only her and her husband.
So they both decided to leave Morocco together?
He left Morocco first. He left her behind. Mm-hmm. He worked his way up. He saved the money, and then he brought her over. I wouldn't leave London if it wasn't for my wife. I introduced my sister, said, this is Jenny, my girlfriend Jenny. And I thought at the beginning Australia was Austria. But my sister, she said, give rid of her. And I said, why? He said, you're not going without Australia. I said, yeah, why not? He said, do you know where Australia is? I said, yes, it's in Europe. She said, no, it's the end of the world. You will never come back. If you go, how are you going to come back here? It's a long, long way. Give rid of her. I said, is that the end of the world? She said, yes, that's exactly where I want to go. To the end of the world. I always been my dream to go to the end of the world. Follow the girl from Benalla. The culture has changed me in London completely. I thought I'm going to England just to find only the British or, you know, mainly the British. But London was full of foreigners. So I learned so much from London. It's international, people from all over the world. So I got mixed up with most of the people anyway. So you learn their cultures, their religions and all that. So I found it a bit fascinating, actually. And looking back, London has taught me a lot about culture, immigration, religion, all those sort of things. So I relaxed a bit. I relaxed more with my life.
What were the main cultures you would have mixed with?
Moroccans, Algerians, Tunisians, the French, and the Spanish. They're the main people I was mixing with. But then again, also there is people from Jamaica, as the places where I was living, mainly black people. So I got mixed up with the black people. I get mixed up with the Indian people, with Pakistani people. When you work also and working, when you go to work, you got people from all around the world in one place.
Especially in hospitals.
Exactly, yeah. So really...
And did they always know that you were Moroccan when they met you?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'll tell them. I'm not going to hide that. When you live in one country, like in Morocco, they're all Muslims. Mm-hmm. They're all Muslims. But then again, Morocco are not really fanatic Muslims. They're just very relaxed. But we do have a little fanatics here and there. It's no big deal. So because you're in Morocco, you're not supposed to do certain things. There is rules, you know. But when you go to London, when I went to London, I found that you can talk about anything you want. It's a free world. You can talk about religion. You can mix with different nationalities and religion, all that. You learn about their religion. And you learn that you don't discriminate against any religion or races and all that, because we're all in one boat. In London, you go and have a beer with your friends, and you can't do that in Morocco. You know, you go to a nightclub or disco, or I used to call it disco that time. You can't do that in Morocco. So really, you find it's lots of different between Morocco and London, because it opened my mind completely. You know, if I was still in Morocco, I would never learn that. You know, I would never learn the culture of other nationalities, their religions, and they believe, you know. And
is that important to you, the way other people see the world?
Absolutely. It was too important to me, because you can't, because we're all human beings, you know, we're all one people. It doesn't matter what color, what race, what religion you have. Over there, you can't do that. When my father heard I'm going to the end of the world, he took my passport away. After 4.5 years, I took my girlfriend from Benella. She became my wife. I took her with me to Morocco. And we got married in Morocco. And Jenny, she went back to Australia, and I stayed in Morocco. When my father heard I'm going to the end of the world, he took my passport away. So
what happened?
Well, I can't go to the details.
So you find your passport?
I got my passport at the end. But when you fly in 20-something hours to the end of the world, it's like a competition. It's between friends. He's going to the end of the world. It's too exciting to go to the end of the world.
Is that almost like a Moroccan or Berber tradition?
It is, yeah.
Can you explain that?
It's like, for example, there is competitions with languages. Who speak the more languages, you know, and who go far from Morocco. It's like that. So when I get back to Morocco, and they know me, I'm from the end of the world, I'm from Australia, you know, they want to talk to me more than the ones just across the road from Spain. So
it's like you wandered across a vast desert.
Exactly, yeah.
So they're proud of that?
Yeah, they're very proud of that, yeah. It's like you're scoring big points among your friends in Morocco, you know, but not with relatives.
You're now going to get on another plane on your own.
Exactly, from Tangier to Charles de Gaulle and France, from France to Australia.
And
It's a long distance. I didn't realize until I was flying and flying and flying and flying and just... Then I start to realize, yes, it is getting to the end of the world. When I land, it's fine. But the shock I had, I was living in London and going to Benalla, not even Benalla itself. It's Rhines Creek, which is a place in the mountains. You're taking the boy out of London and put him in the middle of nowhere.
in a bush farm, yeah?
A hops farm,
A hops farm.
growing hops.
You're one of 8 people in the country from Morocco.
Yes.
How did that feel for you, and how did people react to you? Did they know
The Moroccan people?
Did Australians know what Moroccan meant?
I don't know anything about Morocco. I had this big afro head. It was the fashion that time.
So they thought you were Jimi Hendrix.
Well, like that, yeah. Those times of Jackson 5s and Jimi Hendrix and, James Brown and all. Those people, they were big afro hair. So even the girls, they used to have that as well. So, but no one knows where Morocco is. I was just another wog. So, so really.
And did you feel that you were treated differently?
No, not really. At that time, not. At that time, I think I made my own way. I decided to look. There is no. I'm here, and I have to deal with it. I felt like this is not my home. I tried because I followed my wife. But this is different. I don't mind going back to London, not home. But what I'm saying is, even if I have the choice between Morocco or Australia at that time, I would choose Morocco. You're coming from London, from big city, and then you come to a farm full of religion. You're not allowed to play music, you're not allowed to have a beer. Oh, come on.
You'd left that a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here?
So let's go to when you moved on to West Australia. There you had a strong sense of community because you were in an enclave of the American base.
When we went to Western Australia, I found a job with US Navy. It's Harold E. Holt base in Exmouth. That's where I started working. So over there in the base, there is no racism in US base. You can't have that, So you learn again. In the base, also, you have all kind of different nationalities working in American Navy. So you got more excited about it. You learn more about the people, Filipino people and South Americans and all that working in the base, the US Navy, So, yeah, it worked out very well, actually. So I stayed for 4 years.
You're now mixing with a lot of other cultures again that you hadn't mixed with before.
There's a lot British as well. Lots British and Irish there as well. Seems to me like the Irish and British, they choose Western Australia. So I felt comfortable with that as well. And I got on a soccer team. I was playing soccer. I was very good at it because I used to play in England as well. I play my sport, and I mixed with a lot of different nationalities as well. So it's just like not London, but it's good.
You all left your homelands, but what you have in common is that you're in somewhere else in the world, but you all have that identity together.
You get more confidence when you meet different nationalities, you live with them. And that's when I start to relate to Australia, become very relaxed with the country and start to become my home, But the most important thing is that when my wife have a child, then I had to make Australia home. Simple as that. So I had no choice.
Was Australia changing, or was it about to change for you, do you think? Or did you still feel like a wog?
Look, I feel like a wog anyway, but in some ways, not all the time, just some parts. For example, I was at the Navy. I was working with the US Navy, and we're having a break. And this lady, Australian lady, she poured the hot tea in my head. And she said to me, "You bloody wog, go back home." Those sort of things. You get those things. Look, not everywhere, but you get it here and there, you know? But the lady, she didn't realize she's not on Australian soil. She's in American soil. When you are on Navy base, you are not an American in Australian soil. You are in. So she was going to get fired, and I said to the captain, "Don't." So she will learn from mistake, you know. And we become very good friends after that, you know. She became a really good friend of mine, you know.
Why do you think she did it? Why did she do that? Why did she feel that?
She's well, it's like me when I was in Morocco, for example. All I know is one thing. People, they don't. Maybe she hasn't traveled, you know. She hasn't seen different people, cultures, religions. You know, she didn't mix up with. She's always been in Australia, and her husband, he left her, disappeared. He left her with a child. To me, the captain, he came to me and he said to her, "Look, you're fired, simple as that, unless Ahmed forgive you." So I looked in the child. If she get fired, and then where's she gonna get a job? It's only a small place. But in the long run, I teach her quite a lot of things. Where I went, which countries, and who I meet with, and all that, you know.
You enriched her life because of your experience.
I did, actually. Yeah, I did.
So,
look, we're racist everywhere in the world. The whole world is racist, believe me. Not just Australia at that time. But there is one nation, they are not racist. It's the Aborigines people.
So without migrating, you wouldn't have become the person that you've become?
No, I would never.
From your opinion, why do you think racism occurs?
I have no idea.
Because
everyone tries to be better than another, but there is one nation, they are not racist. They don't care about where you come from, what religion you have. It's the Aborigines people. They're not racist. You know, who cares where you come from or what religion you have?
Why do you think they are not?
I don't know.
Moroccans have an ancient tradition and heritage and culture.
Yeah.
Aboriginals have an ancient tradition and culture.
Yeah, I was interested in that as well. Absolutely. I was interested in all their culture. But I know it's different than mine. You know, it's way, way different, you know. That's why I want to learn their cultures, you know. If they see my culture, they may go, whoa, you know. But
you would have some sense of that connection.
Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do.
Because English people or Anglo people would not. They don't.
No. Because look, if I was sitting, if I go to the outside with the Aborigines in the bush, and sitting in dirt and the fire, I have no problems with that because I done that in Morocco. I sit in the dirt. I had the fire outside and all that. So we have a similar connection, some ways, but the rest is way, way different. Yeah. So to me, there is more to learn. In Western Australia, I meet so many Aborigines people, you know, like I was Carnarvon, Geraldton, Port Hedland, Karata, Kalgoorlie, Leonora, all those places. Been so many places, meet so many different people, the Aborigines people. But one day, I went to live in Sydney, and I really want to learn more about the Aborigines. So I became a member of the Aborigine community, You have to pay. And we used to go by groups to go to a restaurant or whatever. So the money goes to the new generation for the education, for the Aborigines children, for the education. I learned so much about them. I found they're not racist at all. They're not even discriminate people against their religion, that's pure. And Australia changed me so much. Look, I changed in London, but Australia changed me more for the good. I fell in love with Australia in the 80s. I started to travel around Australia, and I found how magnificent Australia is. I didn't realize how beautiful it is until I started to travel. And I go, wow, I'm in heaven. I made a good decision in my life to leave Morocco. That's an excellent decision, actually, because it did educate me a lot. Even become much better person. It all become money at the beginning, but then I start to wake up slowly. Hey, this is not just the money. This is learning about life, about the people, about the cultures and everything around it. The natures and.
So in that sense, it was a big spiritual journey for you.
It was very big. I'm free to go anywhere in the world now, and I feel connected with the people.
And that's what you show other people?
I do. Look, there is. I had a fight with the Moroccans a long time ago. Some people there is some people are really fanatic, and that's what I hate the most. I don't like fanatic in any kind of religion or racism, because you should not be better than someone else. We're all the same. You might have a different job, of course. You might make better money, of course, but you might not have a good heart. You might not make money, but you have a beautiful heart. I've been in Australia for 36 years. I've been in London for 4.5 years. That's 40-something years. So Morocco has changed a lot. So I go to Morocco every 2 to 3 years or 4 years. I go to Morocco. That's what I mean. You can't take Morocco out of the boy, because I always go back there.
Australians know a little bit more about Morocco.
They
Australians
know,
travel
exactly.
to Morocco more than they did.
Yeah. Now they know, yeah. It's especially Moroccan food. Yeah.
And so you are bringing things to this culture.
I have. Actually, I'm the one, which is truly true, discovered Ras El Hanout in Australia, which is a Moroccan spice. I was the one who spread it all over Australia, give it to friends. And one company, I gave them the recipe for free. And the week after that, it was on the shelf. Ras El Hanout Moroccan spice. I was the one.
Are you proud to say that you're a migrant?
You from England? See, we all from different countries here, But I am a migrant because, yes, I did come to a different country, which is not belong to me. Yeah, it's not. I'm from Morocco. I come to Australia. Yes, I am migrant, and I'm proud of that. Yes, I do call it home. I don't call Morocco home. I do call Australia its home. And I'm happy to be a migrant. I have no problems with that.
If you believe you have an interesting migration story to tell, contact us at this email address. We'd like to represent as many nationalities as possible in this program.